Morning. Doing it? I'm just grooving to this music. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're doing it. Good morning. It's the Morning Buzz. It's 7 o'clock. I started the feed a little early. I was trying to get the link so I could share it to my personal Facebook page and figured you guys would join me at some point. So it is Wednesday, May 26th, 7:01 in the morning. Welcome to the Morning Buzz. We've got a fun show today. As always, on Wednesdays, we check in with Miss Amanda Moore. Amanda is the friend of mine who is responsible for me getting kicked in the ass with a challenge, mental and physical health challenge. And so Amanda will be joining us weekly. She checks in with us on Wednesdays to talk about her journey. This is a 75-day journey we're on. She's 5 days ahead of me. So just a weekly check-in to see how she's progressing. And so she'll be in. Mr. Mack will be in. Mr. Mack's in every day at 7:30 to talk about all Templeton athletics and activities going on. I got to get somebody from Paso to do that. Who's a good person from Paso to get in here on a daily or weekly basis to give us the rundown of what's going on in Paso? And then I guess the question is, should we invite the A-Town people to do the same thing? Gosh, are we really doing this thing? Are we really making this thing a full North County-based show instead of just Templeton? I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, the intent was always to be like a North County-based show that would just focus on all things great about the North County, and that included Paso and Atascadero. We've just kind of started with Templeton because it was there. It was easy. It was something that we all knew, and I felt like that's where we should have started, and so that's where we did start. But yeah, I mean, as we continue to go, we're well into 11 weeks now, I think, on our show. And as we continue to progress and grow this thing, I'm feeling a responsibility. Is that the right word? Obligation to continue to build the platform so that it reaches more people than just the Templeton base, the Atascadero and the Paso base too. And so I don't know. I think more good can come out of bigger community, right? So or Templeton, do we just want to keep it Templeton? And we got to include Paso and Atascadero because that's what makes it fun. You know, the friendly rivalry, the camaraderie, the sense of community that we all have. It's a special place, right? Between LA and San Francisco, this little special pocket. And so, excuse me while I drink my murder juice. I'm going to call this murder juice. I don't even know what this is. It's like a chunk of celery or something. I'm chewing on it though. All right, so Amanda Moore is going to be in. Mr. is going to be in. We're going to have a district update hopefully this morning. Mr. Burnett and Mr. Asplin from Templeton Unified School District will be in to check in with us on their update. Let's see. They're busy right now. They've got a ton of positions that they're hiring for, and they're kind of hit and miss. So hopefully we can pin them down for 5-10 minutes this morning. I still can't even swallow this thing. I'm just going to take it out and set it aside. No idea what that was. I think it was a piece of celery or like a skin from the garlic, maybe. It was thick. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, because I'm such a nerd when it comes to history, I freaking love history. Mr. Eric Lewis will be in. He's the government econ history and government a criminal justice teacher at Templeton High School. He's going to check in with us. He comes in every Wednesday at 7:45 to give us a little bit of a history tidbit. He sent me a note, and Eric, if you're watching, I forgot to respond to you because let's be honest, it's email, and I can't stand email. I'm the worst when it comes to checking and answering emails. Okay, here's his email. It says, there was something you said and you wanted me to talk about, but I'm brain farting and I can't remember. I can't remember either, Eric. What did we want to talk about with regards to history? We talked about the last week. We were covering the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Okay, so we were talking about that. Were we talking about the missions? It was a California thing. I don't know. So when you come on, we'll try to remember that. Another guy that's possibly going to drop in this morning is a friend of the show, Mr. Adam Solimini. Adam Solimini is how do I describe Adam? I met Adam in band. I believe I was in 6th grade. He was in 7th grade. That's when we met. But Adam is a Paso kid. Great guy. Really close friend of Billy's in my band. Same grade. He's a grade above me. But Adam and I go way back. Super nice guy. Adam lives in Texas now, I believe. But we were talking yesterday about the Taco Bell track meet and how we used to take part in that. And sorry, I just got a little notification. Notifications are the worst. They just throw you off completely because you're trying to do something and then something pops up on your screen. So Adam went into his archive, some like box of something, and found his Taco Bell track meet ribbon. And it's not just any ribbon. It's a second place ribbon, which is even more funny, right? Because it's a Taco Bell track meet and it's a second place. I don't know. And Adam, Adam, if you're watching and listening, I apologize ahead of time, but Adam wasn't the most athletic person. I mean, I wasn't either, but he got second place in something, and I asked him what it was for, and he's like, well, I think it was some kind of obstacle course or something. So anyways, Adam's going to come on this morning, talk about his Taco Bell track meet experience in 1987. We're pulling out all the stops here at the Morning Buzz. It's just riveting information and comedy and entertainment for you guys. And then, of course, as always, we're joined every day by our good friend, Mr. Anthony Reed. And Anthony is, Anthony's like a 26-year-old, how do I best describe Anthony? He's like the voice of reason for the show. He's the balance, right? And so where I'm completely out here, Anthony just kind of brings it back down. And so Anthony is a great kid. He runs a Facebook page called Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. He devotes his life really to serving public service of putting out news and information on his Facebook page, real time as it happens to the people of the North County. So Anthony is a great addition to the show. He's been with us, almost the whole time. He's been with us since the first week, I think. I don't know. Anthony, when did you come in, the first week or the second week?
The first week.
The first week, like the third day or something?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, all right. Dude, what's up? Did you get the memo?
What memo?
The memo about the turquoise shirts.
Oh, I guess I didn't.
Oh, man, I like it. Yeah, how'd your night go last night?
Oh, it was good. Nothing really of consequence really happened, which is a good thing.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you hear this music?
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think we should keep it going?
It's up to you.
Well, I mean, does it get people pumped?
It's getting me pumped.
Right? That kind of keeps the pace going, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's check any news updates from last night. Anything happened overnight that we need to know about?
Nothing happened overnight, but I did get a notice from Camp Roberts that said that they're going to be doing a 9,000 acre control burn today. So if you see any smoke or north of Paso Robles, it's just a control burn that Cal Fire, CDF, Camp Roberts is burning about 9,000 acres.
So I need about 9 acres burned over here. I want to clear all the weeds. I mean, is that something that we can do, you think? Or is that frowned upon?
I don't see why not. It's property.
Oh no, I think it's probably highly illegal. Well, I have a burn permit, so an annual burn permit. You can go on to slowcleanair.org and check to see if today is a burn day. If it is a burn day, yeah, today is a burn day, May 26th. Here, let me share my screen. So if you're tuning in and you're from like the city right now, this is what people in the country talk about. We check to see if it's a burn day. All right, so today, May 26th, it is a burn. Wait, what is this? Burn May also backyard burn suspended. Burn day status. What does that mean? I thought the check marks mean it's a burn day. May 26th, Cal Fire permit also required. I don't know. Anyways, so maybe today's not a burn day. Gosh, I should probably know this stuff since I do burns.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't have any property to do any burns on, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you. If I can offer you any advice in life, you ever heard anybody say KISS, like the KISS method, the KISS?
Not recently.
No. KISS, KISS.
Well, yeah, I've heard the word, but I haven't had anyone like say
it's
it.
Just keep it simple, stupid. That's what KISS stands for. That's a good life motto. Keep it simple, stupid.
And what's the significance of stupid? Like you're calling me stupid or something, or what?
Yeah, I think it's just because KISS it has 2 S's and I mean, keep it simple, stud. There you go. Keep it simple, stud.
That sounds better. Yeah.
I'm gonna change it to keep it simple, stud. Yeah, yeah. Keep it simple, man. I'll tell you. You know, like don't take on any expenses that you don't need. Don't have a high maintenance girlfriend.
Been there, done that, lost her. I'm back to square one, which is always a good thing.
What's her name? Let's get her on.
Let's not.
Do we need to do therapy? Do we need to have a morning buzz therapy session?
No thanks.
So tell me about what happened in the relationship.
Can I use one word?
Uh-oh. Is it a bad word?
No.
Oh. Okay, what is it?
Used.
Oh, she used you. Well, so here's my quick take, my hot take on this. You're probably a super easy target, right? Because you're such a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd spend your life doing things for other people, and she saw that and she's like, oh, okay, and so
that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, well,
and that lasted about 5 years before I realized it, and one day
5 years.
I'm gonna tell you how it ended. Okay, so how it ended was me waking up one day and just finally being done with that whole situation. And you're like this. I called uh, my phone company and changed my number and didn't tell her.
What?
And I just never talked to her. I just never to her again.
And she didn't come banging on your door or looking for you or any of that?
Nope, she didn't live here.
Oh,
That's the other part of it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Interesting.
I woke up. Like I said, I woke up that one morning and just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired of being used. Had like a bunch of other people tell me that I was being used because they saw it. I didn't. I was just
Mhm.
in it for the relationship, and I had to come to Jesus, talk to myself one morning, and I said, okay, I'm done.
Wow.
And so then, like I said, at that point, I called for Verizon and I just said, hey, what am I going to do to change my number?
Interesting.
And
then the person in Verizon, the caller, the lady on Verizon went, "Oh, did you have a breakup?"
no.
Then she started counseling you. She goes, "Honey, is this something? Honey, is this something you want to talk about?"
No.
Uh,
They changed my number. It took max about an hour, and I had a new number, and I've had it ever since.
mm.
And that was about 3 years ago.
You know what? I just realized she watches the show, and every now and again we put your phone number on the screen. So she's probably got this locked in, and she's going to be hitting you up later today.
If she does, I know how to decline a call.
What's her name?
Lila.
Lila. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
It's not one of the best things I've ever done in my life, but that's something that I can look back on and just say, this is an example of what you don't want to do. So.
Ah, man. That's
it wasn't one of my best moments in life.
Well, you know what? It happens, right? We all go into those relationships kind of like, best of intentions, and
you go into it head first, and then you get backed into a wall real quick.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm going through something real quick. Bear with me. I got to turn this off. Let's see what. I'm always up to something, huh?
Mike, don't do it.
What
are we doing? What are we doing, Mike?
So this is one of my favorite Oasis songs. They're probably going to block this out, but it's live right now. That's Oasis, Lila. So that's totally.
Mike, I'm gonna get you back.
Dude,
this
I have a song for every girl's name. Give me another girl's name. Let's go.
No, I'm good.
Lila.
I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
Oasis, Lila. That's the tune. And that's again, like I said, I'm sure whoever owns the rights to that, Warner Music or whatever, is going to block out the replay of this, and it'll be completely dark. So, but we got to hear it, and I got to do that. So,
I'm gonna get you back for doing this morning, Mike. But go ahead. That's all right.
All right.
Go
So,
ahead.
how long ago did the relationship end?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's probably moved on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I called Verizon and I actually told them the reason why.
Yeah.
I just said because I just want to get rid of my girlfriend. So,
What's
um,
her? I can't believe you told them that, and they're like,
I
"Oh my
did,
god."
I did. I told them. I said I just want to get rid of my girlfriend and I just need to move on because
Hey,
it's not a good thing.
let's look her up on Facebook. What's her name?
Let's not. Let's
Let's
not.
just.
Let's not.
Are we allowed to do Facebook stalking live on the show?
Let's not.
Is that legal? I don't even know. All right.
No, it's legal. I'm just done talking about it. So that's all. I'm done talking about it.
All right. All right.
So.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go. No, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. How did you meet her, by the way?
At church.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So she was probably watching that offering plate go by you, and then she saw like a 10 come out of your hand and drop it in the plate. She goes, "Ooh, most people put ones and fives. This guy put a 10. I'm gonna get to know him."
Yeah, there's no
Man.
telling that. There's no telling how it started. So,
All right, so
but
I'm gonna.
but
I,
but I will say that she asked me for my number first. I didn't ask her for hers. So
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, let's do this. If you guys out there know of anybody single 20s that's interested in a tall, handsome man named me, maybe we can use this platform to kind of get you set up with a good girl, huh?
When did this turn into the
I'm I'm just saying. We
when
started
did
off by saying you're a great guy. You're a giving person, and I don't remember how we transitioned into your relationship, but now that I know you're single, we might as well throw it out there, right?
this isn't the love connection, Mike?
Well, I have a feeling that we could probably do a lot of good with this.
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
Okay, all right,
Not
well,
interested.
all right. Well,
Not interested.
I'll put that away, keep it in the back of my mind. But
Okay, so
you're a catch, dude. You're a catch. You're a
okay,
super
so
nice guy.
now
You've got a servant's heart. You're devoted to community service. Like you're a catch. Put it out there. I'm just saying.
not interested.
All right.
So do I get to call you Cupid now or what?
Yeah, you can call me Cupid. That's fine. That's what I do. So, all right, let's check in with Amanda Moore. She is on the line. Amanda, where are you? Hey,
Hey, I'm right here.
we're trying to hook Anthony up with a girl. He's mid-20s. He's single. He came out of a bad relationship. Did you hear how he broke up with his other girlfriend?
No, I was just thinking I'm going to have to go back and watch this because I just popped on 30 seconds ago.
He was in a relationship for 5 years. Look at he's getting Anthony.
Comfortable.
I know. He just changed his number. He just changed it. He called Verizon and said,
Oh, wow.
"Yeah, that's how bad it was."
That was about 3 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of fish in the sea.
There is, for sure.
Yeah, and I got Mike over here trying to play Cupid, and so it's like,
Oh man. All right. We'll shift gears. We'll go into our health update. So Amanda, I work. I had lunch with Bradford Young yesterday, who's my trainer, buddy of mine. He owns the lab in town, and we're talking about putting together a 8-week boot camp program for the summertime because I've literally had 5 or 6 people reach out to me say, "Hey, like I need help. I want to do what you're doing, this and that." And so,
Right.
But it's not just a physical health thing; it's a total mental thing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like talk to me about your journey from like your mindset from day one till now.
Probably one of my biggest takeaways is like, you know, I struggle with motivation. I think everybody struggles with motivation for different things. And it's not about like, oh, I got to get motivated. it's about discipline and choosing. So this has definitely helped me grow in that area. Like, nope, we're doing it. It doesn't matter if you don't want to.
So before the program, before you started the program, though, like what were some of the things that you were telling yourself, like the excuses you were giving yourself as to why you couldn't?
Yeah, I think it was always like, oh, I'll do that, next week, or I'll start that on this month at this time. There's always like a pushing it back instead of, no, I'm doing it. And that's kind of why when I heard about the program from my friend on a Tuesday, I think I kind of researched it Wednesday and started Thursday. And I think you were
Yeah.
like, what? Who starts a program on a Thursday? But I was like, no, I'm not going to give myself a few more days to whatever. So,
Yeah.
I think discipline is the biggest thing.
And so Anthony has got this thing. Oh, now we're turning it into the Anthony therapy session hour again. But
See, this is what he does, though. See, this is what I deal with.
No, so Anthony's got, he's nursing this leg injury from this car accident. He's a year into rehab. The guy can barely he's basically having to rebuild his entire leg muscle structure because he's had so many surgeries on it, and so he's very limited with his mobility. But I still think that's even with a limited mobility issue, you can still kind of go through this program and do what you're capable of doing, right? I mean, or would you disagree?
Definitely modify the exercise part to be things that you're able to do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, Anthony, basically what we're saying is there's no time like any time right now to get started. No, but
Gee, thanks, Cupid.
in all seriousness, though, Anthony, if we do this boot camp, which I'm thinking about, probably second week in June, starting this thing like June 7th ish would be the first week. And I know what everybody's saying. Oh, but that's graduation week, and I've got the fair this summer and barbecues and this. Dude, I'm telling you, there's never a good time to start. Right?
Mhm.
That's so true.
It's just you just have to commit.
Right.
So, yeah. So you're day 50, 63?
Yeah. Couple
Okay.
weeks left. Kind of like not excited for it to be over. I'm in this
Yeah.
weird place. Like, wait, what am I still think I'm going to do a lot of the things. I like the 2 workouts. I love waking up, getting that done. And then I like the de-stressing at the end of the day, going for a run or a walk or whatever. So, I mean, it'll be nice to be like, well, I don't have to, if I have something else, I don't have to come home at 9 p.m. and go do it. But
Are you a little scared?
maybe a little.
Yeah, I am.
I'm like, this has been so good. So I don't want to just fall off the bandwagon or whatever.
Totally. Yeah. I like as soon as you have an out, like that's the scary thing for me is like, okay, when I have an out, day 76, am I going to use that out?
Right.
Because
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. Then yeah, I mean I guess the thing is how do you turn it into a sustainable thing? And the program itself is designed so you're supposed to take 30 days off before you start the next phase.
Which
right?
The cold shower still got me thinking I don't want to do that. It just sounds miserable.
And then I listened to another podcast yesterday that the guy is like, it's a non-negotiable. Like the cold shower is like you just do it because
Right.
it's just a total kind of like mental clarity, life-changing thing. Like why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The 2 exercises a day, I will say, is very it's tricky. It's tricky to fit them in with the schedule being just chaotic all the time. So
Yeah.
I think in my perfect world, it would be a 2-hour, one workout, 2 hours a day. But then again, like part of what's making this as successful as it is the fact that you have to be disciplined enough to do 2 a day.
It's making us time block our days, which makes me more productive in other ways too. So it's not about, working out. It's just everything in life. You got to time block it. And get more
Yeah.
done. Yeah. I like the reading too. I'm definitely want to keep that up as a habit. Like 10
I,
pages doesn't take me a long time. So it's definitely doable. And by the end of the year, how many books have you read that you wouldn't have otherwise read? So
yeah, I don't mind the reading. I'm not a fan of the book that you and Mr. Mac picked out for me. Um, just
sorry.
because just because it was originally written in 1936 and look at Mr. Mac shaking his head in the waiting room. What? I'm just saying. I I I mean it's a great book. The book is How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. It's a classic. It's probably one of the top 5 best-selling books of all time. I I just I mean it's all stuff that I've heard my whole life, right? I'm not getting anything new from it. It's a nice refresher, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it, but I'm muscling through it. So, um, oh,
Some,
he's got a book in his hand. Oh, he's got it right there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. But I don't. So what's interesting is I should be done with my challenge before I finish the book. So then the question becomes,
Do you finish the book?
am I going to finish the book? And and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I will.
Yeah.
I think I'm only reading it because I have to. Yeah. So, all right. What else are you doing? Any modifications to your diet or anything? I added sugar, so we'll talk about that for a minute. But
You mean you added fruit?
I added
You did-
fruit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How you did it. I tried to go keto for one whole day and I woke up with the worst headache the next day and I said, I'm not doing this. So
And so what's the keto
like
philosophy?
that's no fruit, that's no carbs at all. Besides some
Oh,
vegetables. Yeah.
okay.
It's keeping your carbs way low, but yeah, I wasn't yeah. Anyway.
What carbs are you eating right
That's
now? Just
basically
fruit?
what you've been doing and you've basically been doing keto.
Yeah. I was gonna
Except
say
you
what.
once eat rice. My carbs, yeah, fruit and veggies, and once in a while a little bit of rice, maybe a corn tortilla once every 2 weeks. But
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, you know what I had on Saturday? For the first time, I had a burger with a bun. Um, it was a burger with a bun at Street Side, and they have the gluten-free buns.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never had a gluten-free bun before, so um, it was
I,
it was tasty. It was very what was the word I used yesterday? It was like condensed. It was very
den-
dense,
yeah, that's usually how
right?
gluten is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like it because I remember growing up as a little kid, going to the Catholic church, you get the little wafers for communion. I used to take my wheat bread and smash them into little wafer sizes and like eat them like that, and they tasted like communion wafers. And so that's what it reminded me of, like a super dense piece of bread, right? So,
That's funny.
um, yeah. All right. Well, so I'm doing this shake. I added fruit. The shake that I'm doing is absolutely disgusting. Um, it's
You
let's see here.
should have seen him yesterday. He puked like on show.
I
Like
didn't
live.
puke.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
No, it wasn't puke. It was just all right. So here's I mean this shake is so dense. I have to blend it in a big blender and then put it in the bullet to chop it up even more. It's literally like drinking salsa. Um, and let
What's
me
your
see here.
liquid? What's your liquid?
Water. Like
Oh,
here's
yeah,
video.
it's pretty thick.
It's
You
super thick, right?
try coconut water. Coconut,
Coconut water.
I think it makes it a little more
So
watery.
then, once I blend it, I put it in the bullet, and then I blend it in the bullet, and it's a little more liquidy here.
That's very healthy. Good job, Mike. Getting old to drink some of that.
Oh gosh, he wouldn't in a million years.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Can we show the footage of you puking?
No, I don't have it. I didn't puke. I was a little spit up. It was like a baby spit.
Yeah, that's puke to me. That's puke where I come from.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, this is it doesn't taste great, I'll be honest, but I know that it's a lot of good stuff in it, so
That's
it is
good.
what it is. All right. Well, I'll let you go. We'll get Mr. Mack on. Thanks for checking in with us.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
just
what's
a
happening?
couple things to think about.
Uh-oh.
Maybe old, but good truths to remember nonetheless.
Oh, okay.
Page 47, fundamental techniques in handling people. Principle 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Okay. Principle number 1. Number 2, give honest and sincere appreciation.
Okay.
So, I think you violated principle 1 just by complaining, criticizing, condemning. But Mike, I want to tell you that I really appreciate you. I appreciate all you do for the community, and really appreciate your family, and you have been an inspiration to us. So
I know what you're doing.
If you want to say that this book has no particular value for you, that's fine. I appreciate your opinion, and I will take that to heart.
It's good that you said that, Mr. Mack, because he got all over me this morning. So he deserves it.
Yeah.
Mr. Mack, I really like you as a friend.
Thanks, man.
You have a lot of influence over me.
All right. You know what? That feels good, man. I'm going to have a good day today because of that.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Exactly.
It is sincere. It's sincere, though, that makes a difference. It's not just the useless platitudes. I'm just throwing that your way.
Hey, look, I don't not like the book. It is a great reminder of these things that you've learned over the years, right? In various capacities. It's a great reminder to that. It's just a little dated. It's a little dated. It's dated for me,
Yep.
So,
I understand.
but and I'll the other thing is I've never read the book cover to cover. So I've always had it referenced. That's one of those books that you use like the Bible, like a reference book, right? Like you pull it out, you can go to a particular chapter that is about one particular thing, read that it's literally like a workbook. Reading it cover to cover, I will say I will be better off cover to cover. So thank you for referring it to me.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. So big soccer game tonight.
Oh man, gigantic.
Yeah.
Gigantic. The interesting thing is we had to beat, and I highlighted this in our email this morning, but we had to beat the number 10 seed, and then we beat the number 2 seed on the road at their place.
Okay.
And now we're playing the I think it's the 3 in Nipomo. Nipomo had a bye and then a forfeit. I don't know. I'm liking our chances better than 2 weeks, than a week and a half off, or however long Nipomo's had. Mm-hmm. We got 2 games, 2 big wins, 9-2 and 2-1 over the number 3 seed or number 2 seed. I'm liking us right now much better than a team that's been sitting out for, obviously they're practicing and stuff, but they haven't faced that competition. I'd rather be coming off 2 big wins than sitting around. So
and everybody's healthy on our team, right?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, as you're always going to have some people a little sore and that sort of thing. But I saw one of our players, initials LE, was getting worked on yesterday by that only narrows it down to 2, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, who's the other?
The older one. The older one. We don't want to tip off.
Right.
We know people from Nipomo are watching this, so we're not tipping anybody off here. But getting worked on by Archie yesterday, and it's what happens when you're playing 2 sports and that sort of thing. But she's a tiger, man. She's going to be out there. I mean, she's an eagle, but she's a tiger. She's going to be out there ready to play tomorrow or tonight.
What's Napomo's mascot?
They are the Titans.
Titans, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I'm liking us. I'm man. Would that be something? And Mike, following up on a question you asked, and I wish I had the exact number on this. I don't, but I went into Farley yesterday and I said, "Hey, when has girls soccer won any CIFs?" And he said, "Oh man, look over there." And he points up to his wall, and they've won a bunch. It's been a little bit, but they've won a bunch. He said, "Yeah, girls soccer is one that you can kind of not count on, but they're the ones that it's not a surprise because our soccer program in Templeton is unbelievable." And that's going back to, Melissa Johnson and rec department and all that. It's got to start somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, huge game today, and win or lose, our girls are going to play hard, and we shouldn't be where we are, but we are. So let's go do it while we're there.
You may know the answer to this, but is there a way for us to watch?
I'm going to guess somebody's live streaming that. I don't know, but I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Oh, so what our parents, you think maybe would?
Oh, well, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, but I'm guessing that there is NAH or whatever the acronym is. They're not covering it.
NFHS, NHFS, NHFS.
I was thinking that. I was thinking they would, but someone's got doing it.
Let me see if I can figure it out here. Napomo High School, right?
Yeah. Ben Swan's going to jump in here with the answer before we find it anyways.
I ran into Ben yesterday. We were getting...
That's a bad thing. That's got to be a painful thing.
We were getting gas at the same gas station in Atascadero randomly. I haven't ever stopped at that gas station to get gas. I stopped there, and he pulls up right next to me and gets gas.
Wow.
That looks like April 30th, May 25th. Wait, that's this one, right? They have the wrong date though.
Yeah, they got the wrong date, 26th today. So I'm not sure if that's the one you want to be watching when they have the wrong date.
Oh man.
But, if this is going off Anthony's site, that everything would be accurate, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Whoa. Yeah.
Looks like we're selling cars now.
I know. Yeah. I just clicked on the link. Let's see where it takes us here. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great to be able to watch that game. This looks like an old game.
Yeah.
That's our field.
Wow. Maybe I should run out there. I wonder if they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're probably playing.
The date, that might be like March 25th or something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really know.
Huh. Interesting.
We're looking pretty good out there, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's warm up, though.
I mean, if anything, this is a great example of what you would see if you were to watch the live stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I've never been to a soccer game.
Wow. It's pretty exciting, especially if you're on the field, like if you're on the sideline. Yeah. Man, it's pretty exciting. Hats off to soccer fans, though. Our parents and soccer fans, they get out in our games in normal years because, man, it is cold when they play.
Yeah.
This year it's been kind of nice out there, but normally December, January, yuck, man, it is cold out there. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, so that's soccer, and of course we'll have all the updates for you tomorrow. And basketball had their senior night last night against Santa Maria and won by, 800 points or something.
Yeah, it was like 50 something, right?
Yeah, I think 45 points.
Wow.
You always get a little bit more incentive when it's senior night. And there was a lot riding on this game. We Coach Terry and some of the guys were kind of doing the math, saying had to win one of these games to kind of secure our spot in the playoffs. So they think they have enough to get there. We got a couple more games left, but they think they have enough to qualify already. Interesting thing, Mike, if you look at I'm gonna have to look it up really fast. I think it's Pioneer Valley, if that's who we're playing. coming up here. Hang on. I thought it was interesting looking at their scores recently.
You're talking basketball, right?
I am talking basketball. Let me look it up really fast because they have been okay. Pioneer Valley. Hang on a second. They have had some interesting scores lately. If you were to look at, let's say, for example, sorry. Now I got that on. Hang on. Oh, gosh. Okay, I don't even know how I'm getting that now. You get one. Plus, we'll help cover your cost. Oh, gosh. Now I'm all over the place. Anyways, they had a game where, so their last game, they was this last night? Lost by 13 to Righetti, and then they lost by 1 point to Righetti. Okay, so they're kind of in those games. But if you look back to Paso Robles, okay, so they beat Paso Robles on Wednesday, May 12th. Okay, so this is a couple weeks ago, whatever. They beat them by 8. Paso Robles is solid. I mean, they're solid. Beat them by 8. And then that was on Wednesday. And then on Friday, 2 days later, they lost by 37.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, you talk about a swing. Paso's good, but they had enough to beat Paso and then get absolutely pounded by them 2 days later. So that's when Coach Cherry, he talks about how you play teams twice in a week. They're making some changes and kind of figure you out and that sort of stuff. So Pioneer Valley, Coach Cherry was talking about. Let me share with you exactly what he said. He said that last night felt like they played well in what very could have been a first round matchup in the Division IV CIF playoffs. So that'd be good for us because we beat them a couple times this year. He said our defense was sound, our offense was spread around the team with everybody scoring. We have a vision of trying to peak as we get to the playoffs, and right now we're on track. The next 2 nights will be really tough against a very solid Division II team. Okay, we're Division IV. Division II school in Pioneer Valley. Thus far, we at Division IV school have done very well against Division III and IV in our league, but we've struggled against Division II schools. But they're a good prep for us, and we learn a lot by playing those bigger schools each time. So, this is going to be a good matchup for us, and we'll see. I mean, we need to play bigger, better schools than us. Just to get us ready for the playoffs. But this isn't a team we're going to face in the playoffs. Yeah. We're playing Division IV schools. So it should be good. Should be a good matchup. And we'll see what happens. I mean, it's our basketball team is, we finally seem to be rolling. But we play a bunch of schools that aren't in our division. Even in our league, they're not in our division. So hard to get a real test. So anyways, looking forward to them. That's tomorrow night, I think, for them.
We have tonight at Pioneer Valley at 6:30, and then tomorrow night here at home.
Right, and that will actually be their last regular season home game, unless we get a playoff. But I don't know if we'll get a playoff game. Kind of depends on the seedings. But so that'll be our last chance. If you have the opportunity to come and see them play, that might be your last chance to see them on our home court.
Okay.
And Mike, I was videoing for the senior night last night, and normally we try to get a mix of however many seniors, we get that many non-seniors to talk about the guys. We got 10 guys on the team. 8 of them are seniors.
I know.
We only got 2 non-seniors. So Asplund and Frangie, those are our only non-seniors. So I was talking to Frangie and saying, hey man, you're losing quite a bit this year. Are you ready for next year? He goes, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. Big new faces and stuff. Gonna miss the guys. What a great group of guys on and off the court that are graduating. But we'll have that. I'll get that video to you for tomorrow morning, Mike.
Okay, awesome. I got Mr. Lewis who's in the waiting room to do some history
My
stuff.
bad. Okay.
I'll leave you with this though. I did plug with Mr. Aston yesterday. I told him that you and I wanted to focus on getting that foyer cleaned up and modified. So he's on board. He's just like,
Yep.
I'm tired of it looking like a storage room too. So let's.
Yeah, he told me, man, you blindsided me on Mike's show today. Mike said,
No, he didn't say that, did he?
No, he actually did. He said, I didn't even know you guys want to do something in there. So, anyways, once it's set on the Mike Brady show, it's real.
Oh yeah, it's locked. So all right.
Okay, hey, take care of Mr. Lewis.
All right,
see you.
We'll see you.
See you, Mike.
Bye. All right, Mr. Mac. Eric, I apologize. Sorry, we're running a little late.
Yeah, no worries. I just have to teach,
Oh yeah, exactly. Hey, and I have no idea what we talked about covering.
I couldn't remember either. I totally blanked, so I came up with something else. So
I feel like it was something related to California, though. Weren't we talking California history or gosh?
maybe. I don't know if we were talking about the recall or something. I'm not sure.
I don't remember. All right, so what do we got this week?
Well, I'll go quick since I'm limited here on time, so I should be done in 5 minutes or so. Today is in 1927 on May 26th was the last day that they produced the Model T.
Oh.
And so I found out so much information about the Model T and Henry Ford, and some of it I knew and some of it I didn't. So it was actually started on October 1st, 1908. And it wasn't the first car, and it wasn't even the first assembly line. He just revolutionized that. The first assembly line, most people take back to a guy named Ransom Olds from, the Oldsmobile guy who was doing it as early as 1901. He just wasn't as successful, and his cars weren't as popular. And cars were around as early as 1885. And Mercedes-Benz, I think the last name was Benz, was like kind of one of the first cars. But at first they were not dependable and they weren't built on an assembly line. In October of 1908, the first month they made 11 cars, and they were mostly hand built, one piece at a time. And by 2 years later, they were doing 1,000 cars a month.
Wow.
The original car could run on kerosene gas or ethanol. It had 4 cylinders, 20 horsepower, no battery because you cranked it. The lights and electricity didn't come for like 5 or 6 years later. It could go 45 miles an hour. No brakes on the wheels. It had a transmission brake. So when you hit the pedal, the brake was on the transmission. So kind of closer to a parking brake. Henry Ford, there's a famous saying that it's available in any color as long as it's black. And that was a quote attributed to him, but it actually came later because initially you could get it in gray, blue, green, or red. Just a little bit on cost. In 1908, it was $825, which would be the equivalent of $23,000 today. In 1927, when they ended, it was $360, which was the equivalent of $5,363. And the cheapest it ever was for inflation, in 1925, they were $260, which was the equivalent of $3,800. And then, he basically Henry Ford kept refining the assembly process. So it just kept getting better and better and better. And eventually they did 15 million cars. It was called the Model T because they actually had Model A's through T, and a lot of them never saw production. They were prototypes.
Okay.
And then they later had the other Model A, which was different, that basically replaced the Model T in like 1928 or 1929. And then, God, there's so much stuff about Ford. I mean, he was such a revolutionary guy, but also a very complicated guy. He doubled in 1914. He was paying people $5 a day, which was double what everybody else was paying. And he said he wanted the best workers. But he was super anti-union. He was also an anti-Semite, if you don't know that. And he had several published things. And he produced a paper called The International Jew. That was a 4-volume series that Hitler, even when he was in prison writing Mein Kampf in 1925, said that Henry Ford was an inspiration for him. And that then even during the Nuremberg trials, a lot of the Nazi war criminals referred back to Henry Ford as an inspiration. But it was interesting because in 1942 he had a stroke, and I think he died soon after that. But he supposedly, the story goes that he didn't believe all the stuff with the concentration camps, and then when he saw the videos of the concentration camps, he had a stroke and like had this giant epiphany. And then the Ford company has been very like pro, trying to kind of erase that legacy for the rest of the time and his offspring and stuff. And other than that, the only other I thought was interesting, in 1929, he helped the communists in the Soviet Union set up their auto plants. He was consulted to do that. So I think I got everything I wanted to tell you. So there's a lot of stuff.
I think you talked about it. Yeah, he funded like publications, right?
Yeah, it was called. He did several, but he owned the Dearborn, I don't know, the Press or whatever, the newspaper, and so he was able to control a lot in there. And then this specific, separate 4-volume series called The International Jew is what he's known for, and it's actually something we talk about in AP European history. So, like a lot of the people in our country, they do great things, and they still have some of them have these huge flaws as individuals too,
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Henry Ford. So the Model T, it came in basically black. I pulled pictures up here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I wonder, do we know how many 1927 Model Ts were produced?
I'm sure you could. I didn't. I'm sure that information. I was overwhelmed with information, and I was writing little notes, and I didn't put that down. I do have an interesting personal tie that I forgot to tell you. So my grandfather was born in 1904 and then died in 1984 when I was a senior in high school, and he grew up on a farm in Indiana. And I remember him telling me that his dad wouldn't let him drive the Model T to town until he was 12, and there was no driver's licenses. So in 1916, he would drive from, I don't remember how far he told me it was, but he would drive the Model T to town to drop stuff off and get supplies at 12 years old. So
that's funny.
That's so cool.
That's funny.
And of course, that car's probably not in your family anymore.
No, I don't even have he had like a 1972 Maverick that when we were in high school, my sister snuck out in it and crashed it when she didn't have a license. So that was interesting.
Oh my gosh.
It was a Ford though.
That's awesome. All right. Well,
I'm going to go, and I will talk to you next week. If you think about it, if we were talking, I don't know if we were talking about the recall or something else, but if it comes to you,
I think it was just something specific about California history, but I'll keep racking my brain and
you're younger than me, so I can't remember stuff. So, all right, buddy, take care.
See ya. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, Eric Lewis, the Templeton High School government history and econ and criminal justice teacher. All right, so Anthony, I got bad news, brother. Bad news, man. This is not good. Because I played that Oasis song, Facebook kicked us off.
Oh, really? That's what it was?
I think so.
See, I told you not to do it. I tried to tell you.
Dang it. Bad juju.
I tried to tell you not to make fun of me, but
I know. So I had to reset the Facebook link. So if you guys, Adam and Amanda and everybody who messaged me about not being able to find us on Facebook, we're on Facebook again. We should be live. Check your feed, Anthony. Make sure you can see us.
Yeah, I'm watching you on my other phone. Yep.
All right. So
that's what you get for making fun of me earlier.
You know what? No, I don't think so. And
I think so.
The fact that you think I was making fun of you is a little upsetting. I wasn't making fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back. I'm more and more I'm trying to figure out, do we even want to do the show on Facebook? I mean,
we got the viewers apparently.
Yeah, but I don't know. Facebook, it's just an interesting animal these days. So we are live on YouTube also. So for those of you on Facebook, let me get on our YouTube channel and see here. We go YouTube, YouTube, switch account, Morning Buzz. We have 15 subscribers on our YouTube channel. That's not a lot. But it's 15 more than we would have had if we didn't do this. So that's what I just keep telling myself. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to post the link to the YouTube channel in the chat.
So how do you know it stopped? Did it like give you an alert or something?
No, it didn't. It didn't do any of that. It just YouTube channel subscribe. Yeah, it didn't do any of that. It just I had messages from a few different people that just said, "Hey, where's the show? It's not on Facebook." So yeah, and what's really interesting is on my Facebook, I refreshed it a couple different times and I saw the feed the whole time. So I don't yeah, I don't know. It was didn't but let's see. So now if I go back to there. All right. So if you are watching this on Facebook, if you could just do us a favor, drop a little note in the comments. Just say, yeah, I see you. You guys are live. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it shows that we have 6 viewers on Facebook. I'm looking at it on my other phone. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see that on my end, but I'm assuming we're good. All right, see and hear you. Lori sees us and hears us. So that's good. All right, so we know we're working. Yeah, if you guys want to move, the thing about Facebook is they make it so damn easy for everybody to just see it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what they've done a good job of. Deborah says, "Yes, we are live." Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's kind of like at my church we just decided recently to start up our YouTube page, and because of what we've heard in the past from other people, like trying to record like their whole service and put on Facebook. Not Facebook, but YouTube.
Right.
Is that they're really strict on the copyright infringements, and so it's like they're really strict. So my dad and I decided to just record his sermons, and that's it. And so, but on Facebook, we record the whole service on our page, and we use music from YouTube, and it doesn't affect us in any way.
It doesn't flag you?
Not at all.
Well,
yeah,
I'm sure we're breaking all kinds of copyright rules at any given moment here. The other thing that's interesting is podcasts. Excuse me, I'm choking on my salad that I'm drinking. There's a podcast I listen to called, what is it called? Screw It. We're just going to talk about the Beatles or something like that. Screw it. Let's talk about the Beatles. There it is. No, screw it. We're just going to talk about the Beatles. So this is what I find super interesting is, so these podcasts, they go into, these guys are playing like full Beatles songs on their podcast, and I don't know how they get away with that, but they do. And I'm sure like there's something that in the rules that states, yeah, you probably can't, you're not allowed to do that. But they've been doing it for years. This podcast has been on for 5 years, I think. So, which, by the way, if there's any Beatles fans out there, I highly recommend the the podcast. Screw it, we're just going to talk about the Beatles. It's great, and it's great history, and they literally go song by song, album by album, year by year, and dissect every single track that the Beatles ever wrote. And it's a fun podcast. It's hosted by a group of comedians, LA comedians, and so it's a fun podcast to listen to. So, do you know who the Beatles are, Anthony?
I do. I listened to them as a kid. Well, as a younger kid, but
yep.
I gotta be honest, Mike. I could never get. I can never get attached to their music.
Well, I would play you a track right now, but we know what happens when I try to do that on Facebook.
Yep.
So I'm not going to do that. But if I had to tell you to listen to any track, oh man, I'm choking on that salad still. If I had to tell you to listen to any track of the Beatles, I would say the best one. Well, my all-time favorite Beatles track is probably Strawberry Fields. Have you heard of that one?
I have. I've listened to it.
Yeah. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Will they flag us if I'm singing?
No, because you're not an artist. Well, you are, but you're not like their artist. Yeah.
I mean, my vocal probably sounds almost exactly like it, so they might mistake it for the record. But yeah, just hey, Facebook, that was me singing. It wasn't the record, so don't flag us.
Stranger things have happened.
I know, right? Yeah, I would say Strawberry Fields Forever is my favorite Beatles track. And I think what I love about that song more than anything is the production that went into it. And here, like John Lennon had this really weird thing. He was very self-conscious about his voice on recordings. And so Strawberry Fields, they recorded it over and over and over and over again. And it finally took John telling George Martin, okay, take my vocal track and slow down the tape so it changes the pitch of my voice. So instead of going, let me take you down, they slowed it down. And it's like, let me take you down, 'cause I'm going. So like once they did that and played it back for John, John said, that's what I want my vocals to sound. That's it. So then they took his vocal track for that whole song, had it slowed down, and then replayed all the instruments and retuned everything to change it to that key of the slowed down vocal track. So the track is super manipulated kind of from a speed standpoint. It's fascinating to me. And it's golden. It's art. I love it. It's the story in the song is great. The instrumentation is great. The fact that they used the slowed down taping, the I mean, all of it. It's just unbelievable. So, Lori, I'm that's what I do. I have such a vast range of useless Beatles knowledge that is in my brain. But I also, at some point, I wanted to start a weekly show. In LA, I worked for a radio station. And they had a weekly show. It was the longest running show in LA radio called Breakfast with the Beatles. Every Sunday, a lady named Deirdre O'Donoghue would play Beatles tracks and talk about them and have guests on talking about the Beatles. And so she had the show Breakfast with the Beatles. It's still running today, but I wanted to launch a local Breakfast with the Beatles show at some point. So that's on my bucket list of shows to do. I'd love to do a weekly Beatles show. But of course I want to get the licensing to play the songs. I don't want to get shut down every 3 seconds. So anyways, yeah. So yeah, if you guys are interested in a Beatles show, And I look, if you want to co-host it, Anthony, I'd love to have you co-host the Beatles show with me. But the problem is, you're just not, you don't know the Beatles. So
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Oh, maybe what the show is. Okay, here's the show. Maybe the show is me teaching you about the Beatles, teaching the young generation about the significance of the Beatles to our culture and our society.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's think on that for a minute. All right. Adam Salamini's going to pop in with us here. He is. Let me pull up his. Okay. Let's see here. Is he? I just sent him the link. He's probably trying to pop in right now. So, in case you don't know who Adam is, Adam grew up with me. Adam was a year older, and he is. My dad says, "Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's the Beatles reference. I love it. Yeah, Adam, a year older than me. A ton of. Well, I mean, it's Paso, right? We were all friends growing up. We were all like, we had this epic kind of war between his class, the class of 94 and the class of 95, where we would like literally every year at Halloween, we would raise hell on the golf course and try to blow each other's mailboxes up and get chased by Officer Joe. I mean, it was just the class of 94 and class of 95 had a blast together. So Adam's class of 94, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah. How's Texas?
Texas is interesting. The weather's been interesting the last year. I can tell you that.
Let me ask you this: Is the barbecue in Texas as good as it's always talked about?
Yeah, it's good.
100%.
Yeah,
but
Anthony, it's the best barbecue in the world.
I've never been to Texas, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's excellent. There's really good barbecue, especially their brisket. However, last night I barbecued some tri-tip because randomly I found tri-tip. It's not a big thing here in Texas, so you don't really get to find it a lot. And I gave some samplers to my neighbors, and they were all about it after.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you prepare it and cook it?
Well, I barbecued it on the grill, of course. I just made a rub that a chef friend of mine had made for a dish that they created for my wedding. So it's like a coffee and spice rub.
So the reason why I asked that was because I'm sure this dude right here, he's going to start talking about his 75 hard challenge. And the reason why I asked about barbecue specifically is because I had some I barbecue a lot as well, and I'm here in California, and I had some kebabs yesterday or the day before, and I put some Miss Dave's rib rub on the kebabs before they went on the grill. And
disclaimer: Famous Dave's rib rub is high in sugar.
Like I said,
please use sparingly.
Like I said, this dude right here, he went on the show, on this very show, he went and Googled the rib rub and like dissected what's in the rib rub and all that stuff, and just made me feel like a bad person. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do here. So,
but I didn't put any sugar in it. So
there you go.
I think I'm good.
So.
No, Adam, what town specifically are you in?
I'm in McKinney, right, pretty much on the border of McKinney and Frisco, Texas.
So McKinney is home to E-Trade is out there, and Dallas Cowboys training camp is in McKinney, I believe, right?
That's Frisco. Yeah. So that's like, 10 minutes away is their training camp. It's called the Star. It's a huge area. There's actually restaurants. There actually is a restaurant called Tri-Tip at the Star, which is weird. Yeah. A lot of Californians flooding into Texas. So, they're really bringing a lot of the flair and food too, which is good.
And you've been out there 3 years, 2 years?
Just about 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's your favorite place in Texas that you visited?
I just like the lake. I like going to the lake. It's not too
Okay.
far from me. I'm actually sandwiched to where we're at is between two different lakes. So, I just like going to the lake. There's not mountains here, so it's not like you could go to the mountains or anything like that. It's pretty flat. If I want to do that, because we're in North Dallas, North Texas, we just can take 45-minute trip up to Oklahoma.
Okay. I'm going to be traveling eastbound. Gosh, what day am I going? I'm leaving Friday. I'm headed to Nashville. I'm going to drive, but I'm taking a northern route, going through Colorado to visit some friends. Remember Maria Bastion?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop at her place and then go through Kansas City. I've never been through Kansas City, so I'm bypassing Texas and Oklahoma this time. But yeah, any chance I get to go to Texas, I'm all about it.
Now she's near Castle Rock in Colorado, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I'll be going through there. Well, okay. So I've got a district update. Let me check in with Andy real quick. Yo, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Is Aaron joining us, or is it just you?
Yeah, he should be joining us shortly. So if you want to put me on ice until he comes around, I'm okay with that.
Awesome. Okay, I will do. I know that time is of the essence with you guys, so I wanted to check.
All right, thanks for checking.
Right. Thanks. All right, so that's Andy Burnett. He's the assistant superintendent for Templeton Schools. He grew up down in Brawley, which is by El Centro. Adam, you were in San Diego for a while, so you know.
Yeah, I lived in San Diego for 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now you're out in Texas. You got kiddos. But along with the kiddos and moving, you've also got like boxes of mementos and stuff, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what Adam he messaged me last night, a picture of this, and we somehow yesterday we were talking about it on the show, but the Taco Bell track meet. This is from 1987, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You won not first place, second place.
Yeah.
Wow. And this was what event do you remember?
I think it was the obstacle course.
So that's not even like a real track meet event.
No, but I think I got a first. I can't find the first ribbon, but I'm sure I got a first ribbon. I am athletic.
This was the start of when everybody started getting awards for everything. Yeah. So he got a second place award for an obstacle course at a track meet. Do you remember, seriously, like I was in the relay team for Georgia Brown.
Yeah.
You were at Glenn Speck, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the relay team at Georgia Brown consisted of me, Jerome Thomas, Sean Sheridan, and I don't remember the fourth person, but basically the slowest guy was first, which was me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other three guys spent the rest of the lap trying to catch up and win. And Jerome Thomas was the last guy, and he would beat everybody. Jerome was I remember him dunking. We were like in fourth grade. He was dunking on 8-foot hoops.
Yeah, dunk ball.
Right,
Those
exactly.
Good times.
I don't know. Do they still do the Taco Bell track meet, Anthony?
They haven't done it in the past couple of years, actually. The last time I remember them doing it was, I think, in 2018.
I think, Mike. I think this is the one that you probably got.
Oh, what is that one? Was that like a
Participant?
participant? Yeah. Yeah, if I had $1 for every participant trophy or award I got. All right, let's circle back. You got time to hang out? I want to get the district update. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna put you guys in the waiting room and bring these guys on so we can let them get about their day. All right, stand by, guys. We're just, making our Taco Bell track meet awards that we got as kids. Sorry.
Sounds way more fun than what we're probably going to talk about this morning.
Oh, yeah. So what's going on? You guys are still knee deep in like recruitment, right?
Yeah, that's fair to say. We've made some good headway, but certainly got several positions left to fill. That's a function of both some retirements we're sad about, but bittersweet. Happy for people who are able to take that step, but leaves us with important vacancies to fill. So it's a combination of that, and then new positions to do good stuff for kids next year. So yeah.
Good. Yeah, and we're winding down. I have a countdown on my calendar for the what is this? The THS graduation calendar countdown. Here we go. We are, is that right? 15 days, 10 hours?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah, that's exciting, right?
Absolutely. An exciting year for you. You've got to graduate.
Oh man, we are doing everything we can to just get to the end at this point.
That's fair. That's a funny tradition you've tapped into. There's a lot of various types of countdown things going on around the district. So.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I found this website, and my wife started it at the beginning of the semester. She made a big poster in our house, and we went from like crossing off the day and putting the new day every day, but then it just got like too many cross offs. So she said, all right, forget it. So I found this countdown online, and I just, we've been looking at it from time to time. It's fun. So, all right. So graduation's coming up, recruitment. What else are you guys working on?
Boy, there's so much going on that it's hard to kind of to summarize it. So let me kind of circle back to the recruitment is really just a function of trying to prepare for next year. And so really to describe that another way, what we're really excited about is we have the good fortune of at least a year to 2 years of really reinvesting in our students. It's been a challenging year. A lot of kids are going to come to school next year, with very distinct needs, whether that be academic or mental health or social and emotional needs. And tomorrow night at our school board meeting, we'll be kind of laying out the full spectrum of new opportunities for kids. But it really is, gosh, dozens of new positions that we're able to inject into the system to do things in the classroom, to have specialized services outside of the classroom, outside of the school day, more counseling services. It's a really exciting time, and it feels really a bit foreign to me. Templeton, traditionally, as kind of the fiscal manager over the years, we've had to really be lean and mean in the way that we staff and resource our system. So
you must be going nuts.
It's funny though. It's a great opportunity, and yet it has its own challenges. Filling that many new positions with really high level candidates and all that kind of stuff is a challenge in and of itself. So
sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting, right? Yeah, it's the opposite world that you've been living in.
Yes, so true, so true. And Andy has an important stake in it. Obviously, in the as the chief academic officer, he's overseeing a lot of these new programs and the objectives we're trying to accomplish. But he's also really
so this is Andy. Andy's got his wallet out. He's just throwing money out. And you're going,
I got to rein him in, but he's also doing important work in alternative ed, which he should probably comment on.
Yeah, cool. Sure. Yeah. So I'd be happy to comment on alternative ed, and to a certain extent, you're right, Mike. I've never seen Aaron more nervous than when we start talking about spending the money, and we actually have some money to spend. So
it's not even 9 o'clock, and he's got his tie off already.
No, Aaron and I worked on a video message yesterday, and I will warn you, it's definitely not as entertaining as your show is. But we gave it our best effort to inform our community about what's going on in preparation for next year. And one key part of that is really, getting a commitment from both our families and students who are interested in alternative ed. And because that's going to be a key part of our planning as we look to staff schools. And not just alternative ed schools, but all of our schools We're going to begin with alternative ed and hope that we can figure out exactly who's interested in those programs. And when I say those programs, we're talking about Templeton Homeschool and Tisch. And then another opportunity or another choice that's on the table right now is our virtual academy, because we need to figure out from our families, is there enough interest in the virtual academy to staff that option and then to move forward with that being a primary option under the alternative ed umbrella for the 21-22 school year. So what we're asking of our families is that if they are interested in alternative ed, there's another survey that has gone out, and we are asking that they complete that survey. It's really, really short, and that will help us as we plan for next school year. But really excited about everything that we're offering in alternative ed. We're expanding the offerings with the virtual academy, and we recognize that many other districts are doing the same thing, and so we are striving for excellence with this program, just the same way we would with any of our programs in our district.
And so your video message is going to go out when, or did it go out?
It was scheduled to go out last night, but I will have to double check to make sure that it went out. If it did not go out last night, then it will go out this morning. Okay, and then in that you've got the link to the survey also, and so you're asking for that feedback in that message. Okay. Yes, sir. And included in that message is an alternative education matrix that really distinguishes the two programs from one another. And so when I say two programs, I mean the virtual academy and then our more traditional independent study. This isn't going to be one of those videos like the Ross Perot thing where he's got charts and you and Aaron are trying to explain. And no, I'm just kidding.
No charts, but the setting is probably, it looks like about a Ross Perot commercial. So I will warn you about that. The backdrop.
Oh, that's perfect. And everybody under 30 is going, who's Ross Perot? Yeah,
it's a good point. It's a good point.
All right.
The one thing we haven't folded into our planning, I was just going to mention, is there are no Taco Bell track meets on the horizon. We maybe ought to throw that in just to round things out.
Yeah, I mean, they must have decided that doesn't go with their branding or something. I don't know. Yeah, what a bummer. Oh man. All right, so the virtual academy planning though is you're still moving forward with that, right? We're just kind of waiting to see how much interest there is, and what stage are you at with that right now?
I mean, we're in the stage where we're scheduling the design of what an instructional day will look like. Obviously, we're beginning the recruitment process for our teachers who may be interested in staffing that particular program. Having conversations with publishers about digital curriculum and how that's delivered, and then just doing a lot of research on kind of model programs. That's the work that really is entailed as we prepare to offer this virtual academy. Yeah, what a time to be in I guess software sales for like school district products, right? There's got to be so much information out there for you guys to just go through to make these decisions. Do you have is there somebody, I know in the past you had somebody like an AJ Alsop who was doing that. You guys have like a head of technology that's navigating all of that?
We sure do. His name's Andy Burnett.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, jokes aside, we folded the technology department oversight into Andy's new position when we created it. So he's our guy. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, he's good at he's good at Instagram, so that's kind of similar, right? Yeah. No. Hey, Mike, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, though. I mean, I do have a team of much more technical, individuals that technical-minded individuals that right. help with that process. So Glenn McCollum and Gerardo Ramirez and Tanya Baxley are all
supportive in the technology department, and they do a lot of that work as well.
So they're probably sitting on a lot of Zoom call. What do they call it? Promo or you're going through all of these demos. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh man. And it's not cheap. Like that stuff, those annual licensing fees for programs like that, you're spending tens of thousands of dollars to come up with these solutions that ultimately are only as good as what you put into them at the end, right? Like it's garbage in, garbage out. If you spend all this money to build out this system that nobody ends up using the way it's meant to use, it's like, so then there's this whole training thing that has to happen and implementation process. Like, yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax that you guys are diving into, right?
Yeah, Aaron mentioned earlier, like the how part of our challenge right now is to recruit high level individuals, and I think you making that point about the programs. The programs are great. I mean, there are some wonderful programs out there, but the value is still in our people, and we still need really, really great and capable educators and support staff in order to make those programs, really reach their full potential.
For sure, yeah. And then at the end of the day, it's hoping that people are going to adopt it, right? Like, that software development and adoption of new software technologies has always been, at least in the industries that I've come from, like the big, like the make or break. You've got a lot of these, leadership comes in that wants to do something new, and then the old guard won't adopt it, and it's like, oh, at the end of the day, now what, right? So. Yeah, I mean that's a tough position to be in, but I'm sure you guys are one of the goals of the survey is like, hey, where do we spend our time and energy? Like, give us some feedback, right?
Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a big investment of both money and time, so we got to make sure there's a critical mass of interest and commitment to it before we launch it. So
good. Well, I posted the link to the school board meeting. You guys have a meeting on Thursday. And so it'll be another Zoom link that'll come out on that website where the link is that I posted. I'll check my inbox to see if I got the message from you guys, if it went out last night. I think it actually goes to my wife. It doesn't go to me. So she always sends it to me after she gets it. But all right, what else is going on?
Well, speaking of board meetings, we're maybe one meeting away from returning to having an in-person audience for those that choose to attend. Although that being said, let me qualify that. It's looking to be kind of the new normal would be like a hybrid meeting. So going forward, there will probably always be a Zoom option because I think that's been a real convenient and useful option for our families. But for those that are inclined to come and join us in person, we'll be able to take that step post June 15th, which our next meeting, I think, our next meeting after Thursdays is in fact after June 15th. So
okay, great. And do you know, are you going to hold those meetings like in the same location or move them into a larger area?
The attendance has never been, I mean, with the exception of kind of rare events, more than a dozen to 15, maybe 20 people, and based on kind of the upcoming guidance as we understand it for those types of meetings, we should be able to have that level of participation in our current boardroom and create a little bit of spacing to keep things kind of compliant. But yeah, we're looking at keeping it in the boardroom.
Cool. Okay. And so let's see here. What else is on the agenda for tomorrow night?
It's a night where we recognize this year where there's kind of a bumper crop of retirees and several just really key people in the organization. So it's our night to celebrate the several retirees for the year, which is always again a bittersweet evening, but glad to be able to celebrate those good folks.
Well, good. Yeah. And to be able to do it kind of in person, right?
Yeah. There will be an element of the retirees have been invited to come in person if they like and bring a partner with them. So yeah. Great.
Well, that's good news. Well, cool, gentlemen. All right. Well, I will let you go. Andy, I do totally off topic. I'm like really wanting to be on your pit crew for Badwater.
Hey, let's talk. I need good people. So let's talk.
I've been like, my mind has been there for like the last week and a half. Like I've been listening to podcasts about guys that have done it. And I mean, it's super grueling, right?
Yeah. Just almost as grueling on the pit crew as it is on the guys, and gals running it. So.
Yeah. So like, definitely let's talk. November 7th and 8th, I think is when it is. Yeah. That could work out, but I think it would be a freaking blast to do it. I'd love it.
Let's chat.
Cool.
Andy, I don't know if you know, we have a staff meeting that day. Sorry, you can't leave.
I was just going to say, what's funny, Mike, is Aaron hasn't volunteered to be part of my pit crew yet. So that's weird.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to stay here and run the place while you're out having fun.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Well, that's why you took the position you took, Aaron.
I suppose.
Oh. All right, gentlemen. Well, have a great rest of your week. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, good to be with you.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
All right, that's Andy Burnett and Aaron Asplund from the district office there in Templeton. Super awesome guys. And Andy is racing in this competition called the Badwater. What is it? I'll pull it up here. Badwater. This is a San Diego kind of event. Badwater 135. Adam, have you ever heard of this thing?
I haven't heard of it. No,
dude. It's a race that goes nonstop from Death Valley to Mount Whitney. Not it. What is this? Anyways, this goes from like Palomar Mountain to Salton Sea is the race.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gnarly. But yeah, so he's been training for that, and I'm like, I want to go and be part of it. Badwater Salton Sea. Here it is. Let me pull it up here. In a year, Anthony, you're going to be doing these races. Yeah. So it's insane. It's 135 miles, I think. 81 miles. There it is. 130 kilometers. It's just super grueling. It goes through Anza Borrego. Anyways, enough about fitness. Let's keep talking barbecue. Yeah. So Lori says, what did she say? Hutchinson's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that one. Where's that one
good. At? There's quite a few different locations. There's actually one right down the road from me. Very good. The only thing is they only do beef ribs on Fridays, I think. It's the only drawback.
Have you hooked up with Larry Hill?
I haven't. I think he's actually now in Houston. He was out in the DFW area. But I think now he's in the Houston area.
Yeah. So when I went out there 3 years ago or 2 years ago, we hooked up. He was in the DFW area. He was north. I think he was in Flower Mound.
Mm-hmm.
And then they moved to Phoenix for a year.
Yeah,
I think. And then now they're back in Texas. But Lori posted Hard 8 barbecue. Larry and I, we went to the Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame versus Clemson. And we tailgated on New Year's Eve. I think it might have been New Year's Day, somewhere around there. And we brought in a bunch of Hard 8 barbecue and we had a blast. It was great to see him. He's also class of 94.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hard 8 barbecue is the one that he brought. Lockhart's is one that Joanne Wall said. I haven't been to Lockhart's.
Me neither.
But Lockhart's is it's a famous one that I've heard of.
Yeah.
The one that I've been to a couple different times that is just down in Austin, which is what's his name? Oh, now I'm spacing on it. Franklin. Franklin's like the best barbecue you'll ever have in your life. Aaron Franklin is just like perfected the brisket. And you know what's cool about like you don't think about the sausages, but the sausages are amazing too.
Yeah, you got to get sausage every time. Every time I get sausages, yeah,
insane. So, all right, enough about the barbecue. Let's Taco Bell track meet. I did get a participant award, plenty of those. But yeah, I mean, the fact that you like went through and found this is amazing.
I was like, I know I have that. And I don't know if you remember this, but we were actually in elementary school. We were in the same grade. I was supposed to be the same class as you, but I was older. So I had a very interesting journey.
But you were at Glenn Speck.
Yeah.
So did you play in band in 4th and 5th grade?
No.
Okay. See, I was in band in 4th and 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I think you and I kind of met in band in Mr. Gosh, remember Mr. Williams, our band teacher? Dude.
Yes, I do.
How did that guy not quit like his second day?
I have no idea. But we tortured that guy. I think we had Miss Crawlslate together as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Miss Crawlslate. She was she was cute too. I always had a little crush on her. I remember the room that we had her in was right at the end of the hallway in the main building, right before the staircase.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally remember that. Miss Crawlslate. I wonder what happened to her.
I have no idea.
And she had like this really sexy accent too, like when she talks Spanish. And I'm in like 7th grade or 6th grade. I'm like, oh, I love Miss Crawlslate. Yeah.
Can't wait to get to class.
Right, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, she was great. Super nice, pretty girl. Yeah, she was fun. So we were in band together. I don't remember you being in my grade though, because I was at Georgia Brown.
Yeah, I was in the same grade until seventh grade is when I took I was taking 7th and 8th grade classes at the same time, and then I skipped from 7th grade and went into 9th grade.
No kidding?
Yeah.
What? I definitely don't remember that. You're like the only kid ever to do that.
Well, you know how parents they will hold kids back a year in sports so they have an athletic edge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't me, but I got held back. I got held back in 2nd grade. We moved to Paso Robles in 2nd grade, but when we were in Colorado in 2nd grade, I got held back because I was hyper. That was their reasoning.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I was a December baby. So not only was I old for that class, then I became extra old. And because of that, I was playing sports in Paso Robles. I was playing with the older kids because of my age. So a lot of my friends were a year or 2 years ahead of me.
What sports were you playing?
Baseball, mostly.
Okay.
Bowling. I was a very good bowler.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I never got into bowling. And in fact, I went to the bowling alley. Gosh, we probably went a year ago now. My wife and I and my son and his girlfriend, we went down there one night, and I was like, I don't ever want to come back here. Like, this place is kind of sketchy at night.
Didn't they shut down?
I think they did. So I must have gone pre-COVID, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah. Oh, Anthony, I can't hear you. I got no volume on you. Can you hear Anthony?
I can't hear.
You're going to have to refresh your screen, buddy. Technical difficulties. So how did you find out about the Morning Buzz?
I think we had a chat at the very beginning when you were talking about, I think I saw a post saying that you wanted to do a podcast, and I was like, well, I have this little paper from when I was coaching a small business. So I think we just had a chat about it.
And did you ever get launched with your podcast stuff?
Slowly but surely. Really, I've been focusing on being on podcasts rather than doing my own podcast for business.
Yeah, and you're doing financial planning, right?
A little bit different than financial planning. I'm a financial coach, so it's slightly different. It's more focused on habits and changing spending habits and getting people out of debt with a plan.
Yeah, and who's the guy? Dave Ramsey? Is it kind of like in that same ilk?
Yeah. So Dave Ramsey, has a set plan. He calls the baby steps for people to go through. And we kind of followed that because the whole reason I got into it, I'd done small business coaching, personal coaching. I was in the jewelry industry for 20 years, but the whole reason I got into it is because we needed a plan, ourselves. Yeah. We were normal Americans with a lot of debt. So we just put our heads down and knocked out a lot of debt in like 18 months.
Wow. That's crazy. And so you guys basically, that's kind of where I'm at with my fitness thing, is like, I've gone through it myself. I've gotten myself to a place where it's a good base to start. But now people are asking me, oh, how did I do it? And they want me to help them. And I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do I become a health coach? No, I don't want to be a health coach, but yeah, that's cool that you've gone through it yourself and that you just want to help people kind of adopt the same principles that you did, right?
Yeah. I mean, the best way to become a messenger is to go through the mess, right?
Right. Exactly.
So can you guys hear me now? Are we good?
Gotcha.
We're good. Awesome. Cool.
We're good. So what advice would you give Anthony as a 26-year-old who doesn't have a mortgage, doesn't have an auto loan, doesn't have really a lot of kind of bills and stuff that he's starting with right now? What advice would you give him for like the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I think, you could get in trouble at any point in time. So the best habit is that stops most of the problems at the beginning is a budget, just being on top of a budget weekly. And if you don't have a habit of doing a budget, you got to check it every single day, see what you're doing, see what you're spending money on, but make sure that you have no debt, and that you have a budget and you stick to it, and everything else you need to put at least 15% into a retirement account. The biggest wealth builder is your income. So the less bills that you have and the more tight you are with your budget, the more likely you are to build wealth.
Yeah, I would say less bills is super critical. You got a lot of bills, Anthony?
No, not particularly. I mean, the biggest bill I have is my rent every month, and that's $10.50, and so that's like nothing here in California. So, but no, I mean, aside from like just the normal like cable bill, phone bill, that type of thing. So those are the bills that I have, which is probably like 3 or 4 bills that are constant every month. So I don't have I don't have a car note. Actually,
get rid of the cable bill. You don't need cable. Turn it off. Get rid of it.
My accident, my insurance company actually paid off my car note for my accident, and so I don't have that anymore, or insurance, and so it's not a whole lot. So
yeah. Do you watch a lot of TV?
I have for the last year and a half because I haven't been doing anything.
Shut it down. Buy a Kindle.
Nah.
Invest in books.
No thanks.
We haven't paid for cable TV or satellite. It's probably been 13 years. Like I literally, since we lived in Marietta, in 05 maybe we had zero cable. Like we have Netflix, right, and Apple TV, but that's kind of like pay as you go stuff. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have that, thankfully. And our kids don't even know, like they don't even remember a time where you had channels to surf, right? That's crazy. All right, Adam, what other tips? I didn't mean to turn this into the financial hour with Adam Saladini, but I'm kind of stoked I did, because I'm like fascinated by it. Like this all goes into helping people, right? And I'm in a weird spot in my life professionally where I'm trying to kind of navigate how to help people from an emotional, physical, mental state. But part of that is also that financial piece, right? Because that's a big stressor on a lot of people and a lot of
Yeah.
families. And yeah, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make with their finances?
Not living within their means and keeping up with the Joneses, you know, trying to get the latest and greatest so they can, you know, be just like their friends or their neighbor or whatever. And that's usually what gets most people in trouble is, you know, they want the big house, but they can't really afford the big house, or they want the newest car and they can't really afford the newest car. I mean, some people their car payments are $1,000 a month, you know, and it's and 50% of their take home. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason. Like before my accident, and before I basically got a chance to restart in life, which that's how I'm seeing it now. That's why I started to do like DoorDash and Uber and all that stuff, on top of my job that I already had, and I still have. I work in security, so and so I just use like DoorDash like for gas money and everything else. So just kind of a second income is kind of how I look at like DoorDash and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting back to doing that, because you only get paid like so much, and so how much you get paid is a percentage of that should be like for like your bills and stuff like that, and just to have like play around money is what I use the DoorDash money for. So yeah,
that's a good tactic. You know, a lot of people that are in trouble, they do get a second job and they use that to supplement their income and knock their debt down, or use it for vacations or play money or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any outstanding debts or anything. Like, I'm not in trouble. Like I'm not like behind in anything at all. And so, but it's just more playing around money for me, and it will be once I get back to working and able to drive again and all that sort of thing.
Driving's overrated. I wouldn't.
I disagree. I disagree.
Adam, I'm going to put up your email, because I'm sure there's going to be people that want to figure out and pick your brain a little more. Is it infinancer.com?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put up the website here. Let's see here.
And you know what's interesting, Mike? You brought up TV, and you know, kids, they're just bombarded with the notion of consumption. That's what they're bombarded with, consumption,
right?
Especially with television, and they're not really taught the greatness of compound wealth. You know, if an 18-year-old puts $100 a month in a mutual fund, let's say, until they retire, they have $1.4 million when they retire. But they're spending that money instead of thinking how it will affect their future. It's not really taught in school that much either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you spend $100 a week on Chipotle and Starbucks and
$29 shish kebabs.
Yeah, right. That's what it costs, huh? $29. Right? Yeah.
See,
but
see,
if
see, Adam, Mike's been on this kick, and I'm gonna leave it alone. But still, just.
No.
You should have seen the beginning of the show. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll say this. I'd rather see you spend $29 on shish kebabs than thousands of dollars on medications and all of the stuff that bad health habits lead you down that path of, right? So
right.
But the $29 shish kebab can be homemade for $17. Just FYI. You just
I know, Mike. I know.
No,
so Adam,
don't listen to me.
So Adam, can you tell I'm done with Mike for today?
Oh man!
Because he basically just lit me up this morning. So, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I'll have to check the early morning.
I forget.
All right, yeah. Hey, so Adam, thanks for the heads up, by the way, when Facebook kicked us off. The whole reason why they kicked us off was because we were talking about Anthony's ex-girlfriend who used him for 5 years. Her name was Lila, and it just prompted me in my brain to play the Oasis Lila song. And so I started playing that to make fun of Anthony, and then Facebook shut it down. They said, nope, you're not using
You got to do all originals or covers.
Which credit to Facebook for coming to my defense for stopping Mike for what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I credit Facebook.
Oh man! All right, it's 8:56. We're gonna wrap up the day. Adam, I put your email or your website on there, infinancer.com.
Thanks.
Maybe we should do like a weekly Adam segment where you're just dropping in and giving us a little financial advice.
I might be able to do that.
Does that sound like something you'd want to do?
Yeah, sure. Let's figure out the right day. Usually Wednesdays are the right days for me. My wife is off, so usually she can control our 3 little munchkins. I got 3 little girls under 6 years old. So
nice. 3 under 6.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Yeah. We're done with our kids in a year and 2 years now. All of them will be out of the house. Just FYI.
That's what, most of my friends are. Chris Xline said the exact same thing. I only got 2 more years. Enjoy.
Oh, man.
I said, Chris Xline, I said, it takes a village, Chris. Right. So you can borrow the kids for a little bit.
There you go. Yeah. When's the last time you got together with all your friends?
It's probably a couple of years ago. I'm going to San Diego in a few months, so we're probably going to hang out then too. So, but they usually hang out, 2, 3, 4 times a year. They usually get together.
Yeah, they all just went camping, I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Anand Patel.
Okay.
He's not a camper. He's more of I gotta stay at a 4 Seasons type of guy.
A resort guy, yeah. Where now? Anand's still in Fairfield.
Yeah.
But is he moving, or his girlfriend moved, or?
No, he's not. No, he's not moving. I think he just bought property in a different state. But yeah, he's not moving. He's staying in Fairfield. He's the CEO of visitfairfield.org. Yeah, in the Chamber of Commerce. So yeah, I don't think he's leaving anytime soon.
Okay, that must be a fun job. Talk about a job where you don't really have to do anything. Right? I mean, what do you do?
Talks about his city.
Yeah. That's and I mean, no offense, Anand, who wants to go to Fairfield?
Isn't Jelly Belly there? I think Jelly Belly's there.
Yeah, Jelly Belly is there. We did a 8th grade trip with my daughter's class, and we went to the Jelly Belly factory, which was really cool. That's pretty much what's Fairfield. Like that's the extent of it. So, all right, Adam, we will sign off with you, and thanks again for popping in and sharing your Taco Bell stuff. But yeah, let's do on DM and figure out a segment. That'd be awesome to have you. Sweet. Love it.
All right.
All right, man. See ya.
Peace.
All right, Adam Solomini, he's a financial coach. He's also an ex-classmate, apparently in my grade until we went into 8th grade, and he skipped 8th grade and went to 9th grade. So it was kind of a humble brag he threw there to say he was smarter than all of other classmates, I think, which respect. I mean, he did it, right? That's pretty impressive. Adam's an awesome guy. And he was a fun kid to grow up with. Always had a smile on his face. Always wanted to make people laugh. And apparently, he was a hell of an athlete because he has 2 ribbons from the Taco Bell
track meet.
I gotta ask my mom if she kept any of my ribbons. She's like, I got this whole box of purple ribbons. I don't know what to do with. Like, yeah, that's the participation award, Mom. You can throw those away. All right, it's 9:01, Anthony. I got to get going. Let's get the day started. I hope you have a great day. I apologize if I made you hurt inside a little by talking about your ex. But
it's all good. It's all good.
Tomorrow's a new day.
No hard feelings.
All right, man. Hope everyone has a great day today. I always say this, but I'm looking out the window. Get outside and enjoy the sunshine. It is good for the soul. We will talk to you guys later.